Vigazio, what's up, guys? What is going on? Hope everybody's doing well. Chelsea versus Fluminense 2-0. Chelsea are in the Club World Cup final. Finally, all those years, 2-3 years, it finally seems like it's playing off. But not just because of getting into the final, but because how well they played. Those first 30 minutes, Chelsea were formidable. The whole game, Chelsea were good. There were spurts. There were definitely there were opportunities for Fluminense to come back and actually turn this whole thing on its head and actually win the game. I'm going to say they could have won this game without even playing that well, and they could have been in the final instead of Chelsea. And that would have been typical Chelsea fashion to let this team that's not playing all that well end up beating you. But no, Chelsea did a really good job at just keeping them in the back. I think I'm going to say that Fluminense were the weakest of all the Brazilian teams because Flamengo, Botafogo, Palmeiras had a better attack. Fluminense pretty much just sit back and they just kind of wait and tolerate and just defend and just hold down the fort as much as they can and then hit you with a counter. They just suffer in the back pretty much. And those first 30 minutes, Chelsea did such a great job of just keeping them at bay, and they would not cross over. They did not cross over once. I thought this was going to be a PSG versus Inter Milan game once again. And so Chelsea were playing exceptionally well those first 30 minutes, especially in that midfield with Enzo and Caicedo not letting nothing pass by. Especially Caicedo. Caicedo was pretty much a one-man show the entire game. And I don't think that guy even made a single tackle to the ground. And if he did, he made one or two maybe. Everything was just so easily just swept up and just nudged off the player. The instincts to be able to recognize where the ball was going to be played and intercept the ball. And then not only that off the ball, but with the ball. I was afraid when he was going to try and take somebody off to be able to pick out a better pass that he was going to lose the ball. No, he would get past one guy, do a little turn, take his time. Very, very elegant, very well done from Caicedo. Hats off. Amazing performance by Caicedo. I didn't see because I had to go to work. Supposedly he got injured. I hope it's nothing big. He was walking off. I saw the highlights. He was walking off the field, so that's good. But it remains to be seen if he's going to play and if he's going to be as fit to be able to play the final, whether it's PSG or Real Madrid. And he is essential. He just came back. So would be tragic, let's be honest, if he wouldn't play against whoever it is in the final. Enzo's another one I thought that was going to play. Enzo was dying in that first half. Enzo, I don't know if he was having like a heat stroke. I think that's what was going on. I don't think he was injured or anything. I think maybe he was getting a little bit dizzy. Goes to show how hot it is. But Fluminense, like I said, they had their chances with Hercules being at the end of two of those dangerous plays. The second one wasn't that much. I think Malo Gusto ended up just stealing the ball away from him. But the first one and the only one I think that they got soaked, that should have been a goal, and Cucurella ended up saving it right off the line. The play with Cano, Chalobah, and Caicedo that was marking Hercules completely left behind. It's just too much, just too easy. And knowing Chelsea, because they're a young team, they're a very young team, I don't think they would have been able to come back from that. A 1-1, Fluminense were just going to go with the crowd and their fans in the back making all that boisterous noise. I think Fluminense would have turned things around and you would have seen them made their way to the final. Absolutely. Because there's something in Chelsea that they're not able, maybe it's again the youth, that youthful inexperience that I don't think they would have been able to come back from just a 1-1. 1-1 would have been way too much for Chelsea. I don't think they would have came back. João Pedro was just phenomenal. I think Chelsea have finally found their striker. Finally, after all these years, they finally found their striker. I never saw that with Jackson. I think because you're a fan of Chelsea, you're obviously going to support Jackson. You're going to give him nothing but your full support. That's to be expected. But I don't think Jackson was ever that guy. Even when he was at his best, I don't think he was ever that guy for Chelsea. And you need someone like Delap. Even Delap impressed me more than Jackson did in his debut. And then João Pedro comes in, and I think finally you guys got your Diego Costa, Didier Drogba, who knows? But what a performance. And he wasn't really on point like he was in his debut. In his debut, I think he was participating a little bit more, and he got more involved, and he was touching more of the ball. But in this game, he was kind of absent for a little while until the goal came. And even after his first goal, he was kind of not perceived as much. Until the second goal, and what a strike. I mean, he completely destroyed that crossbar. Great performance, and really looking forward to more of this. As for Maresca, I still hold that I think he's a fraud. It's an unpopular opinion. You can think otherwise, that's fine. But had this been Pochettino and he never would have left, he never would have gotten sacked, or the board, I think there was a disagreement of what one party wanted and the other wanted something else. I think he would have been getting all the merit for this Chelsea squad. And I think this Chelsea squad, I'm not going to go and say that this Chelsea squad could play on itself. They don't need a coach. They don't need a manager. But Maresca's not doing anything new. And you can see that with a lot of his formations, having Malo Gusto as an inverted winger. That's not working, but he's just adamant that it needs to work. It's just not going to work. Well, yesterday, Malo Gusto playing as a right winger did not also work for me. It wasn't the worst game or anything, but Malo Gusto's best served as playing just as a traditional fullback. He's phenomenal in that position. But Maresca seems to think otherwise. The same thing for Reece James. Just some of the things that he does, it's just like you could tell he has no experience. He's way in over his head, and he's just reaping all those benefits because he has a squad that finally, after all these years, is paying up. And right now you could put almost any competent coach, manager, and he would also get the credit because he's at the helm. He's at the front of this squad. So I don't think Maresca's doing anything phenomenal. And I heard, because I couldn't talk about this right after the game. I had to go to work. And I did check out some videos of some people hailing Maresca as the revelation of this tournament. In terms of managers, he's that guy. And that's the most egregious thing that I've ever heard of. It's really, really funny to hear something like that because he is not that coach. He definitely is. He's not at the cause of this. He's definitely not at the cause, but at the effect of this Chelsea win. But good for Chelsea. I'm really, really happy to see Chelsea in the final, and I want PSG, not Real Madrid. Real Madrid's another team that's just starting to come up. I think they will develop into a better team as the season goes on, but PSG is the one that you want. I think PSG is the one that you want, and to make a point, make a statement. So looking forward to that. Definitely looking forward. I hope it's PSG versus Chelsea in the final. And yeah, we'll see what happens. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.